the official job of welcoming you on behalf of us who work at the college. And I also have the pleasure of serving on the EMCID board, in that I was appointed by the board members to fill a vacancy. And I'd like to introduce the EMCID folks, and then I'll join them up here, although we can't see the PowerPoint, so we might roam around.
That's fine, that'd be great.
Okay, house cleaning. We do have restrooms down the hallway. Anybody's looking for a restroom or water fountain. And with that, presenting tonight is our CEO with the EMCID organization. How many know what EMCID actually stands for? Not the employees, you know. East Montgomery County Improvement District. And so Frank McCready is our CEO. He's the second CEO and been with this organization for a very long time. We also have staff members, and they're, Kelly, I know Sandy was here just a minute ago, and Tara. And then we have board members seated up this way. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell them what you would practice? Leonard Rogers is on.
Leonard Rogers, this is my, I've served 8 years on the board, all 2 years, I served 4 years in term. I live in Springdora, Texas, and I own an air conditioning company.
Brenda Webb.
Hi, I'm Brenda Webb. I have been on the board for 2.5 years. I own the Lower State Service. I live in EMCID. Thank you for letting us have your.
Brenda is also the chair for the EMCID board.
My name is Mark Zapata. I just got elected this term. I've been on since July in the Texas. I'm proud to be serving on this board.
I'm Stephen Carlisle. I was elected last, just current term, starting in July, like Mark. I'm currently the police chief of Roman Forest, and I'm proud to serve on this board. Thank you.
Thank you, board members. Frank?
Thanks for having me.
Is that working? Okay. There we go. Once again, most of our, for those who may or may not know, most of our board members serve a 4-year term. They're elected every 2 years, and they have staggered terms. So we have 4 board members that come up for election every 2 years. The Improvement District is composed and was created by the Texas legislature. So when you think about East Montgomery County Improvement District, it sounds like it's a county organization, but really it's more of a state organization that was created by the state of Texas. And then we're locally controlled by our locally elected officials from the area. We have 8 board members, and those all must reside within the boundaries of the district. Kind of give you an idea of how we're organized. So we have 5 of those here with us this evening, and they're your locally elected officials that control our organization, how our funds are spent, how we go about promoting the area and our mission and recruiting businesses to move here, and education and economic development and community development. So we'll go through some of our presentation, and then at the end of that, we're welcome to take questions and talk about the future of our area, where it's growing, and what's really happening with the transition for East Montgomery County, accommodating the additional growth that's coming to the area, and then additionally, how do we do that to the best of our ability and attract the things that we want, as opposed to waiting for just what shows up. So first off, East Montgomery County Improvement District really focuses on the 3 areas. The economy, from the economic development standpoint, community development, and then education. And with those, there we go. Okay, I need my technical person back there. One button. All right. There we go. It took 3 of us to push one button. We are efficient now, I promise. We got it figured out. So once again, the Improvement District Complex is located in New Caney. The easiest reference point for you to understand is basically at the intersection of Grand Parkway and 59. So as you see some of the construction, who has seen that intersection at Grand Parkway and 59? So if you haven't, then you're missing a lot of mounds of dirt, bridge construction. It's not sexy, it's not really cool to look at, but it's coming. And a lot of times with our projects, we say it's coming, you just got to have a vision and give it time to develop. So at that corner of that intersection, we'll talk about that project in a few minutes. We've got 1,500,000 square feet of retail that's currently going to be opening by next March. So first off, I'll tell you guys in the audience, you need to watch your Visa cards, your spouses, girlfriends, significant others, whatever applies. You're going to have to be very careful in the future because there's going to be some great shopping and dining opportunities with that development and that corner in the future, kind of being the centerpiece of our community moving down the road. Anyhow, this is our building that's located at just kind of catty-cornered across from where that development is taking place. The boundary of the district, we cover 158 square miles. So if you think about that, the easiest way to understand, visualizing kind of what encompasses our area is if you take the school districts of New Caney and the school district of Splendora, you put those together, from a boundary perspective, you're going to be about 98% correct. There's a few little pieces that are out of our district that the school district may have, or we may have a piece that the school district may not, but you're going to be about 98% correct on the boundaries. So thinking about it, we touch to the south, we touch the boundary, the city limits of Houston. When the city limits of Houston stops, that's where we begin. And you got a few jagged pieces in there because no one can draw a straight line in city planning. So you got a few pieces that jut in and out, and some that go along the river. And but to the east of the district, we basically go over to the edge of the Montgomery County line, and then to the west, our western boundary is the edge of the school district. If you take New Caney and Splendora and put them together, that's kind of the western edge of our district. So we're the largest districts in the United States. We cover 158 square miles. And all the commerce conducted inside that area is what benefits the district and our residents in the future from a sales tax perspective. This kind of gives you an idea in regards to where our revenue comes from. This year we're looking at about $7,200,000 in projected revenue. And looking at it, 97% of it comes from sales tax. We also have a hotel tax component that's built into our district for the hotels that are located inside the district. There's also a hotel tax imposed on those. And we receive that hotel tax, and then there, it's, okay. Once again from, I lost it. All right. Oh, yes. Do you want me to sing? Do not want me to sing. It's still green. Got a green light here. Hello? Hello? No? You want to go with the microphone thing? I can do that. All right? Okay. Nah, no problem. All right, we'll go with this. Okay. So we'll go with the rap song now, or we can do karaoke. I don't know which. So in any event, get back to where we were. Our sales tax, just how it's broken out, 97% from sales tax items sold within the district boundaries, and then nearly 3% is derived from hotel motel tax that are located within our district. Just kind of give you an idea, this is a rough example of where your sales tax dollars go when you go get your burger, fries, and a Coke somewhere. So if you go somewhere to dine, and say you spend $6.75, of the sales tax that's imposed, the state of Texas, and you see the state of Texas representation there, 39 cents of that goes to the state of Texas. The remaining sales tax can be broken apart into different components. Now, based on where you are in the district, there may be additional sales tax for the fire districts. There may be additional sales tax for the cities, such as the bottom. You see the cities of Patton Village, Splendora, or the ESDs, as I mentioned, the fire districts. So they may have some additional sales tax. And then that portion of the sales tax is then broken apart. So the district, we receive between 6 cents to 9 cents of the 51 cents in total tax. And then from there, each year, our board goes through the process of taking those sales tax dollars and allocating them into 3 different areas: community development, economic development, and education. So when you go have your burger, fries, and a Coke somewhere, that portion of what you're spending is broken apart. Easiest way to understand is part of it goes to the state, part of it stays locally to the fire districts and the improvement district. So that's kind of the easiest representation to think about when you go somewhere and get you a burger. Sales tax revenue, just to kind of give you an idea, in regards to, we started out about roughly around $2 million in 1999 with the projects that are located to the district and additional development opportunities, working with developers, bringing more retail sales, additional dining opportunities to the area. Our retail sales continues to grow. And from that, dining opportunities, I think this year, once again, if you see the growth trend there, you see a tremendous growth trend in regards to fiscal year 12, 13, and 14. And once again, that's strictly attributed to additional dining opportunities and retail opportunities coming to East Montgomery County. So this year, like I mentioned earlier, we're projecting about $7.2 million in regards to retail sales from sales tax being derived from the district. As I mentioned earlier, from that sales tax that goes to the district, it's broken apart into 3 different areas. First off is economic development, business recruiting. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Community development, we'll provide grants back to our community, also providing quite a bit of support for the fire districts in our area, enhancing our community vitality, making it a greater place to live. And then finally, the last area is educational development, where we'll talk about educational opportunities for students that reside within the district and attend our local high schools. Program funding, just to give you an idea how our budget is broken out. Last year reflects 61% was spent in community development, 17% in educational development, and 22% in economic development. That just kind of gives you a pie chart so you see where the bulk of our funds are spent in the community and how that's broken apart through our board through the budgeting process each year. Community funding, once again, as I mentioned earlier, you'll see a large proportion of this is related to the fire districts. We have strategic agreements with the local fire districts to provide them support for their needs to be able to accomplish the mission that they have set out for the community. So of our community development funding, 72% of that goes to the fire districts. Community grants, which those may be a community grant that might be for a nonprofit in the area if you know of the mission, or if you know of other nonprofit entities that might need, the Boy Scouts might need a new trailer for their pack, for their troop. Or you may have someone that maybe the constable's office wants a new improved bulletproof vest that they'd like to utilize. Then those grants come to the district, our board reviews those twice a year, and then those fundings are approved based on the applications that are submitted. So those are local community grants that are presented, and those funds go out to those organizations. And then the final area is festivals and special events. We have 3 festivals each year, and with that, we'll typically have 2,000 to 3,000 kids and their parents attend those events. It could be a back-to-school bash, it could be a fall extravaganza, we have a spring event as well for local students to come in and just kind of give them an opportunity to attend something with their parents, a nice kind of festival environment, and provide an opportunity kind of as a community gathering point to get together at least 3 times a year. And overall, in looking at the funding from community development, we budgeted $2,206,000 for this year. However, since the district has been in existence since 1998, we provided over $18.5 million in community development since the inception of the improvement district. Economic development. This is always a sexy word everybody likes to talk about. This is basically business recruiting for industrial, commercial, and retail businesses coming to the area. We'll talk about some of these projects as we kind of go on through the presentation tonight, but economic development is strictly our recruiting efforts to bring in other amenities for you and the community that you want to see come to our area to enhance the overall vitality and financial stability of our community as it grows. Once again, if you're a diner, a shopper, like retail experiences, Valley Ranch is one example for future retail opportunities. Just kind of give you an example, for that project to occur, our board had to take an action to enter into an agreement to do sales tax rebates back for that developer in order for him to secure his financing to make the Valley Ranch a reality. So we have a sales tax rebate agreement that, well, if you build this and you bring in these stores and the type of price points that we'd like for you to bring to our community, then we will rebate a portion of the sales tax back to you, Mr. Developer, and you can recover some of those costs in regards to your investment in our community. And in that regard, our community receives the type of shopping experiences that we want and can hopefully craft the way that we see the future of our area developing. Current development, just to kind of give you some ideas of what's coming. As I mentioned earlier, you've got Valley Ranch on the left side. There we go. On the left side is Valley Ranch, and like I said, that's the intersection of the Grand Parkway and 59. That is the intersection of Main and Main. That's the highest price point for property values that will be for retail development in the future. There's about 1.5 million square feet of retail that's being developed on that site that will all be open, according to our developer, by next March. On the right-hand side is a project currently under development with Tavola, and that's basically the Friendswood group with Lennar and Perry Homes. And the most important component you need to see on that development is if you look at the red shaded area to the left, that's the 59 boundary. Now all the residential development you see in the back, once again, that's not the sexy stuff. That's cool if you're looking for a home, you know, nice place to live, curb and gutter, nice experience, nice environment to be in. But we always want shopping opportunities. So the red part of that development, as you see there, will be an agreement between us and our developer in the future. We've created a zone to allow additional development to occur on that property, and you'll have commercial development along the western side of that property, and it will parallel 59 for additional shopping opportunities, another grocer, another type of some dining experiences that will come to the area also. So just so to kind of give you a visual and an idea, that's what's going on the front of Roman Forest. On the north side is Roman Forest Boulevard. So with it, that kind of gives you a visual in regards to what's going on with development. A couple other projects underway in the district. First is Kinwood Park. That's the development that the developer has bought the tract of land just on the north side, if you know where the Homewood Suites is, where Kinwood Drive is. And just to the north area, you see some trees that have been knocked down. Got a developer that's working on a project there to bring in some additional retail and shopping experiences also. To the right is the Grand Texas Theme Park. That's at the intersection of 59 and 242. So with it, that developer is working on a theme park project to bring in different amenities to the area. So once again, additional shopping, additional retail, additional entertainment opportunities in the future, and really will change the demographics of our area in regards to how we look at future growth in the future. So Grand Texas is the location that's currently that's bought the property at the intersection of 242 and 59. And then currently the most recent project, and probably one you're more familiar with, the stuff's actually on the ground, is the Kroger Center at the corner of North Park and 59. So with those projects, the Kroger Center came in. Additionally, we have a Taco Cabana, we have a Pollo Tropical, we have a Brewings that's gone in, we have a Carl's Jr. For all you fast food and restaurant folks, that should satisfy what ails you. Other than the dining experience, that we're looking for some other sit-down restaurants to put into the mix in our area in the future. But the Kroger Center was very important in regards to, first and foremost, you bring a large grocer to the area. What's the first thing that you do? You increase traffic counts. And though we may not like that, that's part of the equation that goes into the factor of additional retail development. If you have more cars driving by, you have more shoppers, you have more disposable income, therefore you can attract, again, other retailers that will come to your area. So traffic counts have continued to go up. You see additional development occur on the site, and as additional traffic counts continue to increase, then we'll have more development on that site. We still have about 3 or 4 sites available for some other dining options on that site, and we're talking to others that will continue to expand and grow on that site as well. As you see, some of the stuff currently under construction, Brewings is already opened and they're open for business. There's also Pollo Tropical and a Taco Cabana that's currently under construction. Those should open up probably about 30 to 60 days once they have everything finished up. So other dining opportunities for you in the future there at North Park. Current development also is relating to industrial development. So who's been out on Gene Campbell Boulevard before? Let's see your hands. Oh, a few of you, not a lot, but a few of you. If you go out 1314, you'll come to an intersection that's called Gene Campbell Boulevard. If you make a right on Gene Campbell Boulevard, that will bisect 1314 and 1485. Between those two main state roads is Gene Campbell Boulevard. And out there is about a 450-acre industrial park. And contained inside of that industrial park is a Walmart distribution center. They've got roughly between 750 to 1,000 employees as they staff up for the holidays. That's a Walmart distribution center, and it's roughly about 1 million square feet. One of the largest buildings we have in the area. Other than the Walmart distribution center, we have 12 other companies that are located at the industrial park, relating to pool table manufacturing, to bolt and screw assembly, relating to different types of industries in oil and gas. So those companies all have 10, 15, 20, 50 employees at them. And once again, part of our agreement is, as these companies move to our area, we look for them to hire locally. So their commitment is, we'll agree to move there and we'll provide some incentives to get you here, but in return, we want you to hire some employees from our area, provide job opportunities, and therefore, we want to be good partners with those businesses as they grow, and they partner with us. They also partner with the Lone Star college system in regards to workforce training opportunities. Once again, Lone Star can go out and actually provide workforce training going to their site and training their employees. And that's a very important aspect in the way that we work together with the college in providing incentives for those companies to move here. They want to feel like it's truly a community and really a coordinated effort in recruiting companies to move here. So we've got a great relationship, once again, with the college. For those of y'all affiliated with the college, that's an important aspect for companies looking to move here. Community development, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of support in different organizations, such as the ag programs in the area, some of the festival and events, different things. We have different funding services. And again, as I mentioned earlier, for Fire District 6, 7, 11, funding opportunities to allow them to continue and grow and provide the services that our residents want for the area in the future. Educational development. Is there anyone in here that's taking advantage of the $1,000 for college? Anyone? Okay, so that's all right. That's okay. It's there. So for those students that reside within the district with their parents, they have attended Porter, Duquesne, Splendora High School, any adults that would like to take their GED, that live within the district, or for homeschool. For every single student, we provide $1,000 for college. All they got to do is ask for it. We have some situations where most kids, about 85% of our students that live in the area will come and take a course at Kinwood College. And once again, it's a direct billing system. They come here, they talk to the financial aid office, and say, hey, here's your $1,000 from the improvement district. And that's already factored into when they go through the financial aid process here at the college. We're just directly billed from the college. It's a great relationship, a great program we have set up with the college to allow every student to have $1,000 for college. If you go outside the district, maybe you want to go to UT or A&M, Baylor, or somewhere else, it's a direct bill system where you go, you pay your tuition, and once you get past the last drop date, then you can submit for reimbursement to get your $1,000. And once again, it's a program available for every single student inside the district. So every student in our area is eligible for $1,000 for college. All they got to do is ask. Our board is very supportive of that, and it's been a great program since we implemented that in the beginning. Future considerations. So what do we look at? Why are things important? Why do we need to be involved in the worldwide economy? And how does that impact East Montgomery County? One of the things to think about is strategic planning. And the way that we position ourselves and look for companies that we would like to move to our area, we can't think about what's happening tomorrow. We need to think about 5, 10, 15 years down the road and the way that we approach recruiting companies to move here. One of the most significant events that's coming up in the next year is with the Panama Canal. So those of you that are familiar with some of the economies and the way the world economy works, if you look at the traffic counts, this is just a representation. Where do a lot of those ships come through North America, South America? You can just see it's almost a solid line between the European markets and the Asian markets on ships coming through the Panama Canal. The reason that's significant is, with Houston being in the central part of the country, logistics and warehousing is a huge opportunity for the Houston market and for our industrial park. As companies come and look at logistics, coming through the canal instead of going all the way around, or instead of just using a portage on the west coast such as Long Beach, they'll come through the canal, come up into the Gulf, come to Houston and distribute their products from a central point. Otherwise, you're dropping your product on one end of the country, you got to rail it all the way across. So you leave it on the ship, you unload it one time, and then it's all distributed from Houston going east and west points. So it's a tremendous benefit and something we're positioning ourselves in the future to look at logistics and warehousing and taking advantage of those opportunities as we see them in the world markets and understand the economics and the way that those things interface with the Houston market, and make sure that we're prepared to accommodate those in ensuring that our industrial park has roads and water and sewer in place. So when those companies are looking for somewhere to locate, we're ready to accommodate them, and then those jobs come to East Montgomery County. So it's very important to think strategically in the future about where we want to go with job opportunities in the industrial park in the future. Once again, for any information, anytime you guys need any information from the district, please don't hesitate to give us a call. It's an important aspect of the way that our area grows in the future that we be proactive and not reactive. We have got to reach out and search out and find those companies we want to be part of our community. I can't tell you how many times we get 3 times as many companies that call us that we don't really want here as companies that we do want. We've had numerous opportunities. Our board has had numerous opportunities to make decisions that are not in the best interest of our community, bringing in chemical companies, bringing in large production facilities with smokestacks, bringing in large production facilities that cause environmental damage. Those companies are looking for places to go just like everywhere else. And our board has made great decisions on not accommodating them. There's great other places for those businesses to go, just not East Montgomery County. We want to make sure that we craft this and the language is there to allow us to bring in the businesses that we want for our area to grow in the future. And once again, bring the best and brightest companies to the area so that we have future job creation down the road. So with that, we'll open up for questions. Our board members are here, and I'm here if y'all have any questions from the audience. That's part of our interaction process. We're here happy to accommodate you and answer any questions you may have about East Montgomery County and how we interact with the community.
I have a question. So ever since I moved here, I heard about a dinosaur park. You didn't talk about that.
Absolutely.
Is there a dinosaur park?
They currently are still working on their project. Once again, they've not gone away. And the reason that's important is there's some incentives that have been provided to that project that once it moves forward, then part of that portion of the money comes back to the district. So it's important to us to accommodate that and make sure we're working with them, working with that project in the future. So yeah, they're still looking for property. They're still working through the process of funding. And once again, there's not a single project that we worked on that's been on time, exactly. There's no developer that's ever done it. And once again, we're just trying to work through the process with them to accommodate them however we can to help them. And, we're basically in a mode right now, we're waiting for them to act on a piece of property. But once they do that, then we'll get re-engaged and see how we can accommodate their needs.
But the Grand Texas Steam Park,
Grand Texas
property. And
yes, Grand Texas has already purchased their property. They've already sold up a couple of tracts. Just in the Houston Business Journal 2 weeks ago, we talked about Miller Motorsports. Miller Motorsports, the first thing you'll see is on the south side, kind of behind the Flying J, there's a tract of land that Miller Motorsports has bought. And that's where they're going to put in a high-speed go-kart racing track. Now, I don't know, but I think Stephen can handle it. I'm not sure if I can go 70 miles on a go-kart, but I'm going with the policeman. I bet he can handle it. But in any event, the first piece you'll see will be the Miller Motorsports piece of it with the high-speed go-kart track going in. And that's kind of their first move in going through the process of putting out the different parcels. So what you have with the Grand Texas project is you got a lot of Six Flags employees from Astroworld, and they all came together and said, we can do this again and we can do it better. And that's the group you've got put together that's working on that project. So Grand Texas is currently underway, and also that they are working through the process of putting in the different components to make that project work. Yes?
How is that going to impact property taxes for this area?
Well, it could be twofold. It could impact it positively. It could impact it negatively. Until the project gets on the ground, once again, you can't particularly predict exactly how a project is going to be. Now, if we're bringing a chemical plant, I got an easy answer for you. There's an easy answer. We don't like chemical plants. I don't want to live next to one. So there's an easy answer for you. But when you bring in thematic and you bring in destination points, some folks like living around that, and other folks do not. So you can't really predict exactly what's going to happen there. But I'll tell you from the county's perspective, and I'm speaking from a county perspective now, not the improvement district. I'll tell you why it's a very positive thing. How many of y'all have had a tax increase on your county taxes in the last 5 years? County taxes. Okay, you live in Cleveland, so you're not within our district, okay? But there has not been a tax increase in Montgomery County, and the reason for that is the development that's coming to Montgomery County. You spread out the burden of tax on a larger base as opposed to just a few of us that live here. As we bring more projects here, it spreads that burden over more people and more projects, so therefore the tax rate does not have to be increased. That's the positive aspect of living in a very pro-growth community in a pro-growth county. Montgomery County is growing exceptionally fast. So therefore, with the growth, that's accommodated the additional revenue that the county needs, and your property taxes have not increased. So once again, that's a reason for that, is that burden's been spread out broader. So with that, that's one of the things that these type of larger projects will bring to our community. It continues to diversify the base and spreads it out so that just a few of us don't end up with a property tax increase. Okay, somebody else had a question.
Yes, that was my question. What's it going to do to our property values and the tax rate?
And once again, I mean, no one has a crystal ball to know exactly what's going to happen there. But if you have a good developer, a good person that's cognizant and will meet with the community, which Mullane has done that on several occasions, met with the North Crest Ranch property owners and talked with them as far as maybe some you want to call it light abatement, light screening ways to keep light from shining into those communities. He's met with them, I know, on several occasions, and is trying to incorporate some of those things to make it a development that's accommodating to the community's needs. You know, regardless of what you build, it's always going to be more than just trees. But when you bring something, you can try to accommodate the growth that's coming with it and try to abate some of those things. So I know that he's working with some of the community groups in regards to that. But again,
In regards to what? I'm not following you as far as what it's going to do to our property value.
once again, I can't predict whether they're going up or going down. Some people like living next to those type of amenities and others do not. So I mean, to know exactly what is going to happen to property values, are they going up or going down? You know, the market will determine that. The market determines where things go. But I will tell you from the county's perspective, the county should not have to raise property taxes as these larger projects come to our area because more people are paying
Right, that's the way it
taxes.
should be, but, you know, if they raise our property value a great amount, then that's just gonna make up, even if they lower the tax, if they raise the property value, it's just going to offset the.
I agree with you. I mean,
So
I hear
I
what you're
was just
saying.
wondering if you might know what their plans are as far as when all this development comes in.
Yeah.
Is it gonna increase our?
Well, can I say something as a board member? I
Yes.
live very close to where that development is going, where the Grand Texas Theme Park is going. So we're watching that as well. And again, I've heard both sides. Yes, that property values should go up, but then the other aspect is when you have that kind of complex where you've had nothing but quiet in the woods. For some, that's a quality of life issue. So we're going to wait and see. Luckily, there's also that wonderful thing that happens when you turn 65, and you can have your property values frozen, your homestead values frozen unless you do major improvements on them.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So Sunday night, I went to the Woodlands, to this place called EMCID. There's some really cool live music. And do you know that one?
I do not.
Okay, take me to
I'm not cool like this.
Well, they also have the Woods Central Pavilion. So did any proposals ever come before the board of some good live music venues? I go to Houston all the time to go live music. You guys have something a little bit out here.
There is. In the Valley Ranch component and that development, if you have an opportunity, I want to encourage you, go look at the new Texas Drive Stadium that Duquesne ISD has built. And if you look on the back side of the stadium, there's already an amphitheater that's been mounded up with dirt that will provide live music opportunities and entertainment venues coming to this area. That piece of property is also being replatted and redesigned to be an entertainment district. not only would it be for concerts and other venues, it would also provide other opportunities such as splash pads for kids to play on, some other amenities, bowling alleys, theaters, and other things that would be strictly, it's called an entertainment district, and that's currently being worked on with Signorelli Properties with Valley Ranch. So it's already in the works. It's not finished yet. It's never fast enough for any of us. It's not finished yet, but yes, that entertainment component is contained in Valley Ranch.
Would there also be a center there in the Grand Texas Theme Park?
I think, yeah, once again, live entertainment, anytime you talk about thematic development, theme park development, you're always going to have other entertainment venues that are going to be available. And the easiest way to think about it is anywhere you got a large parking lot, so why are they doing a amphitheater right next door to a large football stadium? Why would they do that? Because you got free parking. So that developer can come in, they can do a concert, they'll charge you for parking, but they've entered into an agreement with the school district to use that parking lot for concerts. So now your developer doesn't have to build a parking lot. They can utilize that parking lot for the concerts that are coming in. So anywhere you got a large parking lot, just think, large piece of concrete, hey, we can do some other entertainment venues and then utilize the parking lot for those entertainment venues with Grand Texas, with other developers. Anywhere you see a large parking lot, those opportunities are going to be there. Okay? Yes?
Yeah, I have another question. I'm actually working on public achievement with Professor Chase's class.
Okay.
And one of the questions that has come up as one of their activities that wanted to get was a student activity center after school. And that's in Splendora area. That area really does not have anything for the students other than a small roller skate facility that really is not set up to accommodate the students. I mean, it's set up for activity, but not really where it's readily available to the students for activities other than just skating.
Right.
We have the YMCA up there, but really there's no activity center at all in the Splendora area. The YMCA is high priced. The facilities is it's not very accommodating. You know, that area is just really not very suitable for the students to be able to actually do something besides hang out on the street or up in the store or a Sonic or, you know, the few little components that are there. They have a tennis court. Tennis court don't even have lights on it. You can't even play on it at night. So what kind of improvements are there coming to Splendora here?
I can tell you.
Because we're talking about a lot down this way, but what about Splendora?
Absolutely. I can tell you from our board's perspective, and I'll speak for the board, and it gets back to community development. We have a community development process. If we have a nonprofit in the area that would want to build a community center, we have a nonprofit in the area that would want to interact and bring in some other programs for the students, I think we'd be happy to entertain those applications because we are looking for good community development projects.
Right.
Bring them to us.
Well,
Once again, that's what we're for.
Our group had actually essentially started out as a community center project because the factor of time for our group with the high schoolers, it was really a time issue. And two, it's something that Professor Tice said that has went through over and over and over with the group and has really kind of not winning it.
Right. And again, I want to encourage you to work with a local nonprofit. Once again, our funding goes to nonprofits. And if you've got a nonprofit that puts that type of project together, we would love to look at it. Okay? We're looking for community development projects that can have an impact on our community. We would love to see that. So once again, twice a year we have an application period for community development grants for nonprofits and entities in the area that want to do projects.
What are those dates?
I'm sorry?
What are those dates? March 30th?
Yeah, I think the first one is March 30th. Actually, we're coming up on one cutoff. Normally it's in the fall and the spring.
And it's the last Monday of March and last Monday of September.
Yeah. And once again, we have those applications in our office, and secondly, they're on our website. So if you want to download one of those applications, you can look at it, and if you need help filling it out, that's what we're for. We're there to help you. So please call us if you have questions about that. Be happy to help. We just had it up on the, yeah, once again, the website address is www.emc, like East Montgomery County, emctx.com. You can go there to the website, and most of what you're looking for should be there for you. And if not, let us know. Because once again, we're happy to accommodate needs. If you need something you think we're missing on the website, let us know. Happy to put it there. So once again, just feel free to give our office a call at any time. That's what we're there. We're there to serve you. So once again, any other questions?
On the community, the way you talk about distributions for fire departments, can you tell us a little bit about how that's broke down? The funding, where it goes to, and how it's divided up?
It is, I'm trying to think how to say this. It is broken down based on fire districts. And we have interlocal agreements with those fire districts based on a formula of sales tax that would be produced in that area. So as an example, if we would have had a sales tax election, say 2 or 3 years ago for the fire district, we entered into a strategic agreement with them. We would rebate them a portion of that sales tax in return for them stepping back from their election, and we basically have split that sales tax with them. And part of the, you remember, we've got to be strategic thinking when we do this. Part of the reason for that agreement is, if in fact our area is ever annexed, the portion of the sales tax that is controlled by the fire districts is then eligible to be basically consumed by the city of Houston. Where with the sales tax that resides with the improvement district, the city of Houston cannot get that. So part of our thinking was, well, we'll go ahead and go have our election and have this sales tax proposal out there, and then through it, with additional revenue, we'll look at funding the fire districts. So just to kind of give you some general guidelines is, I know that we give $100,000 a year to ESD 11, and then in addition to that, about another probably $83,000, somewhere in that range. ESD 6 and 7, I think ESD 6, our agreement is, you know, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I can tell you it's on our website. Is that correct, Kelly? Yeah. All that information as far as exact amounts is on our website. I would say roughly ESD 6 for the year maybe is about 900 and some thousand. ESD 7 might be 600 and some thousand. But if you look at our website, that should tell you exactly what it is. So, and once again, I mean, I want to tell you, you know, you being here the only uniformed person, I want to tell you I appreciate what you do. So, you know, once again, that's you guys are out there doing it, and we're happy to fund to make sure our community has the needs that's necessary to be a great place to live. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
David, I know you raised your hand.
Yeah, I'd just like to address the board. I'd like to ask them questions. What's one of the things each one of you are individually happy about the future of the economic development coming to that you personally are inspired or happy to see coming to the East Montgomery County Improvement District, or our district, our county?
If I can speak first, when I got on the board, before I got on the board, I had my own idea of what East Montgomery County Improvement District was all about and what the district actually did. When I got on the board, was elected to the board, and began serving, I realized that my thoughts and my ideas were completely wrong. And from that, I learned exactly how much the district does for the citizens of this community and how involved we really are. The growth has been phenomenal. The anticipated growth is wonderful. The things that are in the balance that are coming very shortly is just incredible. I can speak for this particular board. Personally, I appreciate so much the way they respect each other, help each other, communicate with each other. This is a great board, and we work for, well, we represent the district, and Frank is phenomenal at what he does, and his support staff, you couldn't ask for better people. This area was a long time coming. We were always the stepchildren. East Montgomery County was always the stepchild.
and we have, it's finally happened, and it's wonderful. I'm very glad to see this happening. Thank you.
we moved to Splendora about 36 years ago. We loved the trees, the peace and quiet, but we knew it would not be that way forever. And every time we go to Galveston and I look at what's developed out of the Gulf Freeway, I think, ooh, I would not really want to have a community develop like that. You want good opportunities for families, good, clean kinds of programs, things that would help quality of life. So the growth is coming. We're the last corridor to be developed going out of the greater Houston area. And looking at developers like Danny Signorelli, who's gone back and redone their schematic plans to have a larger footprint for hiking trails, biking trails. Those things are important. I would love to see all of that interconnected throughout the East Montgomery County area. We are going to have growth. That's inevitable. And so what we can do in terms of quality of life and also bring good paying jobs. And some of this is kind of a trade-off with the theme parks, because many of those and some of the fast food places, many of those are service industries that do not pay fantastic wages with good benefits, but they also attract other growth to the area that will bring jobs that will be high paying and have good benefits. So that's what we're really after, but you do have to have that mix.
Well, that was tough to follow. I've been watching the improvement district for several years, at least 6 or 8 years, and I've always liked what they do. And I know there's been some bad publicity here and there. That's why when I got on the board, I was really pushy about getting some public information out there. So I think we're doing a good job on that now. And that this is the first of several events where the board, especially Frank, is going to get out and educate the public on what we do. Outside looking in, I had an idea, but once I got in, it's a great thing. We're doing great things for the community, and even before I knew everything that they're doing, of course, I still don't know everything what we do. I'm still learning, but I'm proud of what we do. We all have the same ideas. It's just all the details of getting there, and I wanted to be a part of making those details, making those decisions of how to get where we're going. And I agree. I looked at the Houston area, and we are the last frontier. So we're definitely moving back.
Man, I can't add a whole lot to that, but I've been living in East Montgomery County right at 45 years. And basically, I've seen it come from a one-horse town to where we are now. And I've been involved in several community activities, several organizations in East Montgomery County. And when I saw the improvement district, I kind of looked at it and I said, man, I want to be a part of that. And I'm an old man, I got some ideas, you know, and sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But anyway, I'm proud to be a member of this organization, and we're going to look forward, we're going to move forward with this.
I got on the board in 2004. When I first came on the board, I was like everybody else. I absolutely knew. I didn't even know what EMCID stood for. So I was encouraged to run, and I did. After we got on the board, I found out what we really did. When I first got on the board, we probably had 3 or 4 people in the industrial park maybe. And from that on, that time to now, we got 17. And that is because that we went across the country, got out and solicited these people, and we work. We go to these conventions, we do these things, and we take off time from work and go do this. And I'm very proud to say that the first 8 years and the second time I've been on there, it's been a great experience. We have had a wonderful time, and we got probably the best board that I have ever worked for, and I have worked for 3 different boards in my period of time. And Mr. Franco there is one of the best access that you can have for as the CEO of this company. So I'm very proud to be on this board, and I tell you what, I don't think that we can do anything better than what we're doing and give the community back more than what we give. And like you said, people, you know, they see us and talk to us out in public. If you got something to say it to us, tell us what your thoughts are. I love it. I'm at the cafes, I'm all over the country, and I don't think nobody in Springfield, Texas don't know me. So, and most people reported you can't. I know Martin's played there since before Moses was a little bit ago. But no, it really has been a great ride. We've had a wonderful time, and I think we've got a great board, we've got a great staff, and I don't think anybody can say that we have not produced the greatest of all times in our community, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to add one thing. I noticed a while ago when Frank asked y'all if you were the industrial park of that. Here a few months back, we took a tour of that, and even though I've lived down here this long, I didn't know what was going on out there. If y'all ever get a chance, y'all need to go out there and check that out and visit some of those companies. They'll be proud to talk to you. And there's really a lot going on out there in that industrial park.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate those comments. Anybody else have any other questions or anything? Okay. Well, once again, I need to tell Lone Star College, thank you so much for setting this up. They were very instrumental in putting this event together. So thank you very much to the college and the individuals that were responsible for that. And once again, we're there for you. So anytime you have any questions, don't hesitate to come by the office or give us a call. And we're there. We serve you. So let us know how you want our community to grow in the future. So thanks again for the great event. Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to take a minute and thank each one of you for taking time out of your evening and coming out here. If you don't come in here and let us educate you, it never goes any further. And we all know that, you know, education is key. So as Frank said, if you don't have questions anytime, ask anybody. He is a wealth of information, and if you can ask the board, and if for some reason we don't know, we will find out for you. But I really sincerely appreciate, on behalf of the board, you all taking time out of your busy evening and coming in. Thank you.
Also wanted to thank Jay Tice with our Center for Civic Engagement. We also have two full-time faculty members here, Steve Davis and Tilo Schimmel, who help promote getting involved locally, and individuals and groups really do make a difference.